3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome to Switch It Up. I'm Sheila. That's Todd.
Yes.
And we are here celebrating. It's been 6 months we've been on the road together this week. 6 months we made it.
Yes. And it is exciting, and it's a time to reflect back on lessons learned.
Yes, on our lessons learned, and maybe we'll also share some of our favorite experiences.
Yeah, we might do that in another video. But this one, what's this video going to be about, Sheila?
Our mistakes, our lessons, things that we think you should know.
Yes.
Why are you...
Because that might be something I have learned.
How about we just roll the intro?
We're going to roll the intro and share with you the lessons we've learned in the last 6 months.
Stop doing that.
I've never played Fortnite, but it seems like it would be a fun game if they
Just
had
roll
dance.
the intro.
A man and a woman left their home to switch things up and go on the road. They didn't know where they would go, but it's gotta be better than staying home. They switched it up. They switched it up.
So.
And we're back. Okay, Sheila, this is going to be, finally we got some good sunlight. Like, I feel good about this.
What do you feel?
sunlight.
How do you feel about the intro?
The intro is fabulous.
We have a good intro.
That's her way of saying, let's get back into it. Don't go on a squirrel chase. We do that on this channel a lot. Lessons learned, Sheila. This
I
is
don't
going
know that
to
we
be,
do that a lot.
Well, I do that. I take full responsibility 100%. But this, you need value. That's why you're here. That's why you're going to watch this video. So we're going to give you top 10 lessons learned.
Top
Okay,
10 lessons
Sheila,
learned.
Go.
First one that we learned is you have to have some sort of a routine and a checklist. Like, know who's doing what so that you do not forget anything and break something.
Yeah, that happens a lot. Like, we broke a lot of things inside. I think I've broke the drawer twice that I've had to fix because the slide. This next part you're not going to be okay with. Okay, so you know how this slides? This right here? You see how this slides? And it goes in? So it caught, the handle caught on the back side of this board, and you couldn't see it until I heard the pop.
I do the inside.
Yes. It's okay. So that's a good point. We have divided. I generally do the outside and do the walk around. Sheila does the inside because you know what needs to go and where.
Well, I think we've just decided. I mean, and then I do the final walk around on the outside once we get hooked up to the truck.
So we do our brake light inspection, and while I'm in the truck, after the brake light, she's already at the back. And this could be a great tip for you guys as a lesson. She then does one more walk around and she checks to make sure, like, the windows, like, we have missed a window being open, the two of us, like 2 or 3 times.
Yep.
We've learned this. There's a double check on the walk around before she gets in the truck and we drive away. I think that's been great.
So when we first started, it took us, oh my goodness, I would say it was a long time to set up and to tear down. And that's fine. We were learning. Then we just kind of make a mental note and a checklist, put a checklist on our phone and said, okay, these are things we need to do. Now we've gotten it down. You'll get better at it.
How long does it usually take us now? Maybe
30 minutes.
Yeah.
I think we've got...
So, and this is and if we're doing a full takedown, like the motorcycle out, the bikes out, kayaks out, that might be 45 minutes to most an hour.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
I think so. I think we're still, I don't know. Maybe we should time it sometime.
Oh, that could be another video.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's been a great lesson learned.
Yes. Make sure you have a checklist and get your routine down. Okay.
Well,
how about number 2?
Number 2, utilize walkie-talkies.
Yes.
This would come down to communication, and why is that?
Well, there is a great TikTok going on right now about this
Where
great...
the women are behind there, and instead of communicating, they're doing all these motions, and they're jumping around behind, and the guys in the rig going, what in the world is she doing back there? It is a great TikTok. I can't put it on here because of copyright, but it's not extremely helpful, and we realize that walkie-talkies, and so you might say, well, why not use your cell phone? There are many times that we do not have cell phone coverage, and so walkie-talkie just allows us to communicate with each other. You're looking for things, trees and obstacles. We communicate a lot, especially like getting into where we are right now. There's overhanging trees everywhere and tree branches. So literally in some of these instances, she's got the button held and she's like, okay, you got you need to go 10 inches over, you're going to miss that branch. And it is a constant communication until we get pulled into our site. So walkie-talkies.
Yeah. It's better than me just saying, hey, move a little bit this way. I'm just constantly on letting him know, hey, you're doing a great job. You've got it lined up well, or I need you to go a little more to the passenger side. Walkie-talkies have just been huge.
It's the number one thing we've heard arguments in different campgrounds is the communication when the wife or whoever the other co-pilot is outside trying to communicate, and they're yelling at them, and they've got the window down and they're yelling back, and then the driver gets super frustrated, and it's
well, and you gotta think about it. If I'm in the back,
you're 50 feet back.
Yeah, I'm a good 50 feet from you. So we have heard more fights in campgrounds regarding the backing in. So just get a walkie-talkie.
Some good walkie-talkies.
Yes. So you don't have to yell at each other.
Yes.
Right. That's no good. All right, number 3. Oh, this one came by a great learning experience called Don't Arrive at Night.
Whew! Don't arrive at night. Those are such great words that somebody had passed on to us when we first started, right? Like, we closed down our apartment, we're literally throwing everything in the rig, we're getting ready to hit the road, we're going to St. Louis, and we started out 5 hours later.
5 hours later. We should have just not even left that day. We should have slept in the parking lot.
Well, how hard can it be? Just go ahead and push through. These are the things you tell yourself.
Yeah, but not good. What happened, Todd?
Well, we did not know what you don't know, and the very first thing new to this whole RV lifestyle, we turned down a road which we thought was going to be great to get to this Harvest Host, and there was 9:30 at night, and it was completely pitch black, and I get to a stop sign, and I don't know the rig, I don't know how to drive the truck very well, and I was over too far.
We don't know the road. We
don't know the road.
Yep.
So I started to make the corner, and I didn't even grab a camera because it was such a chaotic moment when she screamed, "Stop, stop, stop!" And I stopped, and the rig was 3/4, it's like leaning. If we would have went maybe 3 more feet, we would have just rolled the rig over into a ditch.
We would have been done before we even got started.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And those words, "Don't arrive at night," rang true.
Yes.
From people telling us, and we started learning. And we didn't learn from that lesson because then we did a couple other mess ups, but we have learned now. 11 o'clock, start date, January 11th, 2020. Trying to go to bed. We got a lot to unpack. I'm going to sleep now, since today we almost rolled the 5th wheel on the way here. I forgot to latch the hitch, and it almost turned out bad where we could have lost the trailer. No propane, and we have no water still. So we're gonna pee in the toilets with just bottled water. So don't do it.
Yeah, the only thing that I would say is if you're arriving at night, like to a parking lot, like you're going to spend the night at a Cracker Barrel or a Cabela's or something like that, that's fine. You're driving into a well-lit parking lot, just pushing through, but don't arrive at a park or a Harvest Host.
This place would have been, like, I would have been freaking out with overhanging trees.
You were already freaking out, and it was 2 o'clock.
Yes.
The sun was out.
Yeah, 2 o'clock here, and we went slow. So,
all right, tip number 4, Todd. Here, talk about that one.
This
because
marvelous card.
we got this card, and Todd didn't want to use it. He was all...
So here's the thing.
What if?
On travel days, okay, if you are traveling and you have a truck and you have never drove a dually and you got a 50-gallon tank, and I do best at trying to fill up before we even take off, but there's going to be moments when you're on the road and you're like, we still need to get fuel, or you forget to fill up before you leave. This EFS card, EFS, I don't know what it even stands for. Something, it's TSD, Open Logics, Roads, whatever. Look for this card because it allows you to go into the trucker lanes to get fuel on the road, and you have so much more space and you have so much less stress. And I think this is a huge lesson learned, and I didn't like it at the beginning.
No, we were a little nervous because here's the deal: is we realize truckers, this is their profession,
and we respect them.
We're out here on vacation.
Well, this is our life.
Yeah,
now.
we're just traveling around, and it's a little intimidating where you're like, well, I don't want to take up their space and da 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 da. But so you were a little anxious about it,
I
but
was.
but it all worked out. As soon as you're done fueling, you pull forward and you get out of their way so that they can load up their 300 gallons.
Yeah, and once you put this in, it actually ties to a bank account. So the next day, 24 hours later, the money comes out of the bank account and you get a statement. So it's not necessarily a credit card. It just allows you to use their system. And just look into this. This has been a great lesson learned.
Great lesson learned.
Okay.
Okay, number 5, we're halfway there of our top lessons we've learned is go slow. Todd, slow down.
You have to realize, again, I'm talking to probably the newer people starting this lifestyle, the ones that you guys have been traveling for years, you already know this key component, but as a newbie, as a new RVer, and after 6 months, I still have to remind myself, go slow, no matter what. Like literally in a campground, we might be going 1 or 2 miles an hour, and even backing up, we're communicating. Everything is slow. There's no reason to speed up. I mean, even in traffic, right?
Well, I think it takes a little bit getting used to because you don't necessarily like to be flipped off or honked at or yelled at by people. But whatever they're going to be irritated with you about is not worth your safety or the safety of your equipment. So you just have to get used to it.
Because if we get an fender bender or if we hurt the rig in any way, this is our home.
Right.
And since it's our home, we all know that getting your RV fixed or repairs on a truck take forever. And so if you don't go slow and you make that mistake, a lap of judgment of, being emotional or being fast or trying to even stay 80 miles an hour, just stay at your 65 and just enjoy that journey aspect. And so going slow in every aspect.
It's the exact opposite of what we're used to in the city. Like you're you want people out of the way. You're trying to get from here to a meeting and you're running behind. You're just zipping through. No, it just isn't. It just get used to going slow and you might make people mad.
That's okay.
And that's okay.
It's okay. They're in their life where they don't realize, and that's okay. So go slow. What's the next one?
Okay. This one was a hard lesson for me to learn, and it was the be flexible. Like, I'm a person, like, here's the plan, here's the agenda, we're going to go from point A to point B, and
we have time frames.
Yes.
That's why the go slow and be flexible kind of go together.
So you had to learn to go slow, I had to learn to be okay going slow, and I had to learn to be flexible. You might have the itinerary planned out, and something breaks. We were in an RV park in Florida.
Oh, this is a good point.
The brakes, we were supposed to be out of a park. Your checkout was at 11. Our brakes locked up and we could not move.
No,
and I have the next spot where we're supposed to go to check in. We need to be there by 2 or 3 o'clock. Problem.
No bueno.
Yeah.
Because the brakes were completely locked up. They had somehow electronically seized, and I was pulling it. And so it was what do we do? Thankfully, there was somebody in the park that was willing to help us.
We just had to figure out, and it required the people at the park to be flexible too. They had to move some things around, but then they're like, okay, you can stay, like, we can figure it out. I called ahead, told people we weren't coming, like, just be willing to take your plans and wad them up and throw them out the window.
We call that switching it up.
Yeah. Makes me feel better to say it that way.
Switch it up. Just switch it up. It's going to be okay. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Throw your plan out the window.
That's one of our mottos here on the channel.
Yes, I had to adopt that early on. It's fine.
All right.
Okay. Oh, things are going to break and you have to be okay with it.
Wonderful, wonderful tip that we were given before we left. And doesn't matter. Brand new rig, brand new truck. Within the first 4 days, brand new truck doesn't communicate with brand new rig and the brakes don't work. And that happened for weeks, on and off, intermittent problems, and the frustration.
Or wife says, hey, you need to reset the router, and husband says, oh, let me climb up there and hang on to,
I broke the trim piece. Yeah.
Like there's
or learning how to figure out how the refrigerator's gonna work because you forget to turn on the converter so your food doesn't spoil.
Or you blow a breaker and you can't figure out
where the breaker is, which is hidden under the stairs. Who knew?
Or you might electrocute yourself when trying to change out the batteries.
Well, I didn't get video of that. That was a scary moment.
It was a scary moment. It's fine. It's just fine. Just
gonna
know,
break.
even when, like, we're 6 months in and we move about every, I don't know, 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
And even now when when we get somewhere, there's still sawdust that I have to vacuum up. I don't know where it comes from. It just keeps showing up. Okay, but thank you. Now I can fix the rest, but I don't think I can fix this other problem.
What?
Never seen it before, but our Jaboni readout is blank.
Turn it on.
What do you mean turn it on? I did. It's blank. It always usually says what our...
Oh, there's nothing on it.
And it's sunny out, so it should be telling us what our input is. I've never seen it blank before.
There's always something.
And I'll make you a sandwich.
Looks like we're going undercover. We got the light. Oh, it just broke my light. Oh no, that's the worse than the problem.
Just know you're going to clean more than you think you're going to, and you're going to repair things more than you thought.
This is only 6 months in. Right. I mean, we've and the fun part is we've kind of developed into that rhythm, so that's nice.
It's like, hey, something broke again. And at the beginning, I would say it irritated us. It was like, what? Now we're just like, what broke today? That's just kind of
literally,
like us.
where'd this? You go in and you go, where'd this screw come from? Right? And she's holding it. That's like, I don't know. Where did it come from?
We just put it right here, and
Or
then
as a
someday
bolt.
you'll
We have a little nest of nuts and bolts and screws that we have no idea where they go.
It's like you put together a kid's Christmas present, you got extra parts. So
or,
they just magically
your rigs
appeared.
are made from IKEA. Or IKEA rigs, and you've got leftover pieces.
Leftover pieces. Okay, so yes, and this one's for you, Todd. Take this one away about this lovely YouTube channel we created.
Okay, so we created the YouTube channel to share our experiences because we thought it would be fun and encouraging, doing it 3 days a week. It's a lot of work. And here's the thing, is that we bring this up is because you may have a lesson to learn here. You may want to start a YouTube channel. And we want you to know on the front side, it is a ton of work. It's a ton of dedication. And you have to be willing to know that people are not going to like some of your content. They're going to be mad. Like the Berkey video we did, they got mad at us for that, or me. It's usually they get mad at me. If you're going to watch the channel, you may get mad at me at some point, and I won't intentionally mean to do that, but yeah, that happens. So just know
he's like a fungus, y'all. He grows on you.
You just got to know. I encourage anyone that wants to share your story and your YouTube videos, and it's going to be a challenge at the very front part, and you're going to have to be a big learning curve. Start with your cell phone. Don't go. Just hold your cell phone out and talk and enjoy. It's a passion of mine to help people and creators. Just know though, even though I'm in my 50s, she's still in her, 20, 25, 29.
Appreciate that.
I married young. It's a great way to preserve the memories of your travel. So if you start looking at YouTube as a way to supplement income to do this lifestyle, just know that that doesn't happen very easily. If you're looking at YouTube...
It takes a lot longer than you think it's going to.
Yes. Gosh, it does take a lot longer. I mean, editing time and stuff. But preserving the memories for your family to see in the future is playing for legacy. And I am all about playing for legacy for your kids and grandkids and stuff to see what you've been doing. So don't overthink it. Start the channel and just share and see what happens from there. That's my soapbox. That's a lesson to learn, because I see so many people when we talk to them, hey, we want to start a channel, or hey, we wish we could start a channel, or hey, how do you do it? Just know that you can do it, and just be prepared for a little work and a little learning.
It is a full-time gig.
It is a full-time gig.
Yes.
Okay.
Number 9. This might not apply to you. I don't know. Something we haven't talked about. Do you even know what number 9 is?
No. It looks, I can't even read it.
I know.
It looks like wigs. We don't wear wigs.
Okay, so number 9.
She was writing while we were driving, and it was really bumpy road. What is
number 9, especially for me, and it probably doesn't apply to everybody, but the lesson that I have learned is in 6 months, I have gained 5 pounds.
Oh, weight. It's weight, not wigs. Okay.
I've gained 5 pounds.
I don't know if I've gained any.
I know you don't keep track, but so here's the thing. Maybe we should do that. You want to do that?
Oh,
that's a whole nother video. Here's the thing: I'm just around food more, and
and I stress her out, so she
Yeah,
stress eats.
and Todd, we have a lot of snacks, and yes, we're more active, but I'm going to have to get very intentional about paying attention, because you're just out and you're like, oh, road snacks and road food, and just go into it with a plan. If you don't want, at this pace, 5 years from now, it would be bad, really bad. So,
I would still love all of you.
thanks, honey. Just saying, to people, you need to be intentional about your food plan, because it will just creep up on you.
I will say that on our trips, we really don't, in our daily life prior to doing this RV lifestyle, we would think about it, but we just don't, because we're always going. And it's just not something we think about. And then she's like, time to cook or dinner, or what do you want to eat? And then it's just not even in our... We need to probably create some sort of a regiment of...
Well, and I think part of my problem is when I was at work, most often I wasn't around food. And I would just run to work, and I was constantly busy, and I would be like 3 o'clock and like, oh, I need to grab a quick snack or something. Now I'm just around food a lot more. The refrigerator's a lot closer. So just know, a lesson that I learned is it will creep up on you when you least expect it.
Yeah, we're like 5 steps from a fridge at any moment in this thing.
Right. It's very handy. So lesson that I learned is that it just can creep up on you. So I'm going to have to pay better attention.
I just like snacks.
The next 6 months, Sheila's going to be intentional.
Oh boy, that means Todd's intentional. Oh, I don't want to be intentional for the next 6 months.
That's part of what's the I in switch, Todd?
Yes, intentionality, but I didn't see.
Didn't
weight
see.
Wasn't under the W, was
Okay.
it? Weight.
No. Intentional
I know,
eating.
but W.
Okay, and lesson number 10 that we have learned, we have so enjoyed what we've seen, all of those lessons that we've learned, every challenge, every mistake has absolutely been worth it. America is an amazingly beautiful place, and the cultures and the people, it is worth getting out and exploring for sure.
It's different backgrounds, different places, different people that you're meeting, their cultural history. To give you an example, we were finishing 4th of July.
Yep.
And was it South Dakota?
We were in South Dakota.
And
I had a
great
couple.
meeting.
Yeah, I had a couple hours to sit and talk with some people that were natives and lived on the reservation, and you know, a lot of times when we think about culture, we think about, what's happening over in Cambodia, or what's happening over,
Because that's where I went to Cambodia. That's where she came from. Yeah. No, not where you came from, but where she came from with that explanation. So they have a little backstory.
Well, or I was gonna say, Asia. Like you think about all these other cultures, but America is rich in different cultures and diversity of people, different backgrounds, history. It's just beautiful. But what we've learned is America is beautiful. The people are amazing, and we just have so much we can learn from each other, and we can appreciate. And I think people just need to, regardless of all the lessons and mistakes, you just need to get out there and go. And
just look around your environment, because the United States in itself, this is only 6 months in, we haven't even made it to the East Coast.
And I'm so excited.
You only know what you know, and that's in your box. And our box is now a little bit bigger because we've gone some other places. But we have yet to open the box because we haven't even seen the East Coast besides Florida. Right. And so that's going to expand the next 6 months, which is going to be a lot of fun. But just that moment of, along the way, meeting people, listening to them, enjoying, interacting, laughing, sharing a meal. There's just so many awesome things that come from this journey in the RV lifestyle. So if you're new starting, just embrace that as you're going through all the other lessons you're learning. Just know that the sweet spot, the icing on the cake, is, I think,
the people.
It's the people.
It's the people. And just getting to know them and to see this beautiful world. So that's our 6 months of lessons. I'm sure in the next 6 months we're going to learn some more.
Man, I just hope they don't involve like the breaking of things.
I have a feeling that was,
that's coming.
That was a lesson. Things are going to break.
I know.
That was like number 7.
You can limit those are just more enjoyable moments.
Yeah, I think we would say that the lessons have definitely been worth it.
Yes. Definitely been worth it. And we get to now share with you in an upcoming video the top places we've seen.
Yeah.
in the last 6 months.
But we appreciate you being a part of our 6-month journey so far and
So they
coming
should-
along for the ride.
What should they be doing, Sheila?
Oh, I think that they should like, subscribe. Hey, you know, if you subscribe, you can always unsubscribe. It's
Yeah,
free
I
to
might
subscribe.
make
It's
you-
free to unsubscribe.
You might be happy with this video and not like me later, and then you could unsubscribe, and then we might make you happy again and you could subscribe again. It's a free thing. It's just
Yes.
like a button. You
So
just click
push
the button.
Yeah, just put. It's so simple. Just bloop.
And then once you do that, you can hit the little like button, because that's a thumbs up, or you can hit the thumbs down button that you didn't like us, because either way, YouTube loves engagement. And the third thing of doing of all the things would be leaving a comment. And we
Yes.
would love to hear
We call
your
that
comment.
do all the things.
Those are doing all the things. The extra thing is the bell, but all the things.
Oh, and
is-
share.
and
Tell
share.
your friends.
Man, yeah, that
There's
would
a
be
lot
nice
of
too.
things.
Yeah, but we've enjoyed our journey so far. We've enjoyed having you reach out. We've enjoyed building the relationships with all of you. And the new people that are watching this video for the very first time, please join us as we continue the next 6 months. And
Who knows what we can
knows?
learn
Yeah.
for the next 6 months?
it's always an adventure, especially on this channel, when you
Yes.
decide to switch it up. And we are Sheila.
I think we're out.